Hi, everybody. This is Dan Cerrucci, and we're live as promised. It's about 8 o'clock, and I'm here with the guy that I call the Sage of South Jersey, Joe Condo.
Dan, great to be here again. Thank you for the high praise.
So, Joe, we're in a very, very exciting moment in New Jersey politics. We've just come off this tremendous showing by Donald Trump in the presidential election, where he came within what is it, like 4 or 5 percentage
Not
points?
even 5%. I think it was 4.5%.
4.5%. And Joe, you're one of the best vote counters in New Jersey, particularly in South Jersey. Everybody is waiting to find out if Trump is going to weigh in on the gubernatorial race. We have numerous gubernatorial candidates that appear to be in the race. One of the other developments is the continuing strengthening of the Republican dominance of South Jersey.
Right.
And once you go below Camden County, okay, if you go down to that part of the state, and you've got Gloucester County, Cumberland County, Salem County, Cape May County, and Atlantic County, all going red now. It's solidly red south.
Yeah.
And then up the coast, Monmouth County and Ocean County as two of the biggest Republican counties.
That's right.
So if you look at the map of New Jersey, you've got a blue urban corridor running from Newark to Camden, diagonally across the state.
It's what I call the blue noose around the neck of New Jersey.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like.
Noose.
The blue noose.
That's that urban corridor from New York to Philadelphia.
That's right.
But then if you look below that and above that, the northwest corner of the state and the southeast corner of the state, it's all red.
That's right. That's exactly right. The blue noose. And we're going to chip away at that because, as you know, I spend an awful lot of time working with my good friend, Senator Michael Testa, who's the chairman of Cumberland County.
Right.
It wasn't that long ago that Cumberland County was Democrat, had been Democrat, for the most part for 50 years. Now after this election, it'll be 6-1 Republican in January. Gloucester County, Chris Conwell and Nick DeSilvio just got reelected in Gloucester County, the first Republicans to get reelected in Gloucester County in a generation.
Who knows if we'll see a Republican elected in Camden County again? It's funny because I was speaking to a group in Ocean County. Jack Ciattarelli was also speaking, and he said in his remarks, I said that I came from the kingdom of Camden County because we're a kingdom under the realm of King George.
Yeah.
But Jack got up and he said, no, Camden County, we're making gains in Camden County. And he held out the hope that we could elect a Republican again in Camden County. I don't know. I think that's a reach. Don't you think that's a reach?
I don't expect it to happen anytime soon. I'll leave it at that.
Right. Yeah. Now, Joe, would you agree with me? Let's look at the gubernatorial race for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we have Jack Ciattarelli, who was the candidate the last time and came very close. And on election night, or let's say it was 2 or 3 days before he conceded, or maybe, I don't know, a day or two, he announced then and there that he was running again. And he's been running for 3 years now.
He has run, at least, because he was running for 3 years before he ran the last time.
John Bramnick.
Right.
We've got former Senator Ed Durr, known as Ed the Trucker. And we've got Bill Spadia, who's running for governor and is still on the radio, is still on his morning radio on New Jersey 101. Would you agree with me that right now, Jack Ciattarelli seems to have the strongest organization?
I would agree with that, and it's a tested organization, which is why I would call it the strongest. I don't know if it's necessarily the most numerous, but he just ran a gubernatorial campaign, and as you said, he's been running ever since. So he has a statewide organization. He has people who are loyal to him statewide. Many of the party organizations, the county chairs are loyal to him. Jack clearly has the advantage when it comes to the statewide organization.
And he seems to have the most statewide name recognition.
I would think so. I haven't seen a poll to that effect, but I don't think I'm sticking my neck out too far to say, yeah, he probably has the highest statewide recognition, certainly among Republican primary voters, which for the moment is all we're really talking about.
Now, let's move on to Bramnick. Would you agree that Bramnick, Senator Bramnick, I forget which county he's from in North Jersey, would be seen as the old line traditional New Jersey Republican candidate?
Given the rest of the field, he's the closest to what we would call an old line candidate.
An
establishment Republican,
sort of Christy Whitman Republican. Although
I didn't want to indict any of our former governors, but yeah, he's cut in the image of likeness of a Christy Whitman for sure, and he is an establishment Republican. Where Chitterelli he's not a member of the legislature anymore. He served a couple of terms as in the Senate. And Spady has never been in office. Durr was in office for 2 years as a senator. I mean, after the upset of the century, right? And unseating someone who's likely to be a Democrat.
Yes.
Unseating the longest serving Senate president in the history of the state. Had served only one term in the Senate. So none of these other candidates are really career politicians in the way that Senator Bramnick is.
Right. And we have a state Republican Party, state organization that is, how can I put this?
You want to help you out?
It's not seen as a really strong organization.
Right. New Jersey, for whatever reason, and this applies to both parties, New Jersey, for whatever reason, has always embraced a weak state party structure and a strong county party structure. And so the 21 counties, whether they're controlled by Democrats or Republicans, are really separate fiefdoms. And one of the challenges in a statewide office, whether it's U.S. Senate or governor, one of the challenges in a statewide office, and even for that matter, House seats that cross county lines, I think Congressman Van Drew's district, for example, I think touches 7 or 8 different counties. Mm-hmm. And so when those seats touch multiple counties, it requires cooperation between the several organizations. You don't always get that kind of cooperation. Ocean County, for example, takes care of Ocean County, and Camden County takes care of Camden County, and Cumberland County takes care of Cumberland County. And I don't mean to say that the chairs don't talk or that there isn't cross-pollination between the counties. There certainly is. I mean, I'm a living example of somebody that plays around in every county in South Jersey. But there's no cohesive leadership where somebody says, all right, everybody, this is the direction we're going to go.
These, Joe, are, first of all, the county chairs have always been powerful in New Jersey on both sides of the political line. There's more, but there's 2 well-known Republican counties, Monmouth and Ocean, which bring in huge numbers of Republican votes, where the county chairs are quite powerful, yes?
Because indeed, and because they've controlled these counties have been heavily Republican forever, right? Where a county like Camden is exactly the opposite. Now, Camden, I believe, is the 8th, don't hold me to that, but I believe Camden County is the 8th largest county in New Jersey in terms of registered Republicans. So when it comes to a Republican primary, Camden County is way up there in its ability to deliver primary votes, even though they haven't controlled a seat in Camden County in 30 years.
Right. So I mean, we can deliver.
We can deliver primary votes.
We're Camden County people. We can deliver a significant, one would argue, maybe even the margin vote.
Well, I would say the deciding vote. Camden County could very well deliver a deciding vote. Now, Camden County would have to get its house in order, because you mentioned that the chairs are powerful. The chairs are powerful in the sense that they control the party line. So let's talk about that. As we know, Senator-elect Andy Kim got together with his buddy, the state attorney general, and they managed to eliminate the party line for the Democrats in the primary last year. And smart money says that there will not be a Republican column anymore for our primary in this upcoming June. It hasn't been ruled yet, but I will be shocked if there aren't people out there who are going to push this for our primary as well. And so then there is this belief, and I will characterize it as a misguided and ill-informed belief, but there is this belief that as soon as the column goes away, the party chairs and the party organizations are going to have no power over candidate selection anymore. And the reason that I take that hardline approach with this is because even last year, even in some Republican counties that use the so-called office block ballot, Salem County uses it, for example. I know that Atlantic County Republicans used it last year. Even in those counties that used the office block last year, these endorsed candidates won everywhere. The party organization still has control of the slogan. Now there's people trying to get rid of the slogan now too. But the party organization still has control of the slogan. But more importantly, the party organization has the party organization. And if the organization is unified, let's suppose, for example, in XYZ County, we decide to nominate Dan Cerrucci for governor, then the expectation is going to be that all the members of the organization in XYZ County are going to support Dan Cerrucci for governor. Now, there's no real way to enforce that other than peer pressure. And if you want to stay on the county committee, maybe you really ought to consider going along with what the rest of the team has decided we're going to do. This idea that we can continue to argue with each other after we've made a decision is foolhardy and self-destructive. So if in XYZ County, we expect everybody to muscle behind Dan Cerrucci. Dan Cerrucci, therefore, inevitably carries XYZ County. And that's going to happen whether it's office block or party column.
And in Camden County, where the Republican Party is a distinct minority, unfortunately, the Republican Party has not been very united or unified, Joe.
Well, you're telling me. 30 years ago, when I was in my heyday in Camden County, somebody referred to it as everybody's fighting to be king of nothing. And it seems like everybody's still fighting to be king of nothing. And
I say they're fighting over who gets the right to lose.
Well, there's that. I forget who said this. I want to give attribution to the right person. I don't remember who said that. But when all you're fighting over is the scraps, even if you win, all you get is scraps. And so I do hope, as you mentioned, we're Camden County boys. I no longer live in Camden County. Of course, I live in Atlantic County now. But I do hope to see the day where I can swear in the next Republican commissioner in Camden County. I think there's a long way to go. But that having been said, if the organization in Camden County can coalesce behind a singular gubernatorial candidate, and as I say, it's the 8th largest county in the state in terms of Republican votes, boy, they could deliver the deciding vote in this primary. So there's a great opportunity for Camden County to flex its muscles in the Republican primary in a way that maybe it can't deliver in November, but certainly it can deliver in June. But look what the Democrats do. They solve the problem privately within their own party so that they find a way to coalesce around a singular candidate, while the Republican Party insists on having 17 people in every primary and letting the voters decide in June. And there are movements to take less power away from the organizations. The only way you win elections, especially as the minority party in this state, is if we would take that page, just take that page out of the Democrats' book, and let's resolve this problem within the family and present to the voters the best candidate that we can come up with, and let's everybody get around them and move forward. You mentioned 5 or possibly 6 gubernatorial candidates already. Like, I can't. I just can't.
And Joe, you are a great believer, and we're going to end on this note because we're coming up almost on an hour now.
That's hard
45
to
minutes.
believe.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a believer in county political conventions where the county parties come together and choose their candidates at a convention. And even you would recommend having a statewide Republican Party convention. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct. I mean, there are municipal candidates that should be chosen by their municipal Republican committees. There are county candidates that should be chosen by their county committees. And I do believe that we should have a statewide convention. Let it go on for 3 days at the Meadowlands or whatever, just like we do a national convention.
Mm-hmm.
Let's let all the elected delegates, because let's not forget, members of the county committee, for the most part, are elected by the Republican voters.
Mm-hmm.
And their job, in my opinion, their most important job that they undertake is the selection of proper candidates to represent our party in the November elections. Let the county committee members from all over the state convene in New Brunswick for 3 days, and let all the, you want to have 8 candidates present at the convention, let them all present at the convention, let them all do their wheeling and dealing, let all the delegates talk to one another, and let's come out of it with a singular candidate in March rather than wait for the June primary. But I don't think that's going to get off the ground any more than my proposal that we should disband the assembly because it's a redundant second house. But
I think it would be great if, and unfortunately we're hampered too by the fact that we have this late primary in June. It certainly hampers the minority party tremendously because it doesn't give us much time to come together and unite. We have the primary in June, then everybody goes down the shore.
We beat
on vacation.
We beat each other up until June. We spend an awful lot of money. There's an awful lot of acrimony. It takes 2 months for everybody to get back to talking to each other again. And before you know it, it's August. And like you said, everybody's down the beach in August. So that's the month everybody wants to take off. Before you know it, it's Labor Day. Now, finally, we're starting a campaign, and vote by mail starts in 3 weeks. That's just like insanity.
Whereas if we had a statewide political convention like in April, okay, and one of the things that it would do it would really energize the grassroots of the party. Absolutely. Bring the grassroots together, bring them all together in one place, energize them, come up with a unified theme, platform, whatever.
The next time I am at a convention with Hudson County Republicans will be the first time. And I've been on the Republican County Committee for 40 years. Right. So again, you go back to those county fiefdoms, and nobody wants to. Yeah, I could go on about the isolationism problem too, but I realize we're running out of time. But yeah, I'm a big proponent of a statewide convention for our statewide offices. Let our elected county committee members, they're elected by the party members. Let them represent the party members who elected them. Let them go to convention and let them choose our candidate, and then let everybody coalesce around that candidate. And this idea that you shouldn't vote for a selected Republican candidate because they're a rhino, what does that mean? They don't agree with you 100% of the time, so they're Republican in name only? Like, who are you to call anybody a rhino? Like, I don't get it. But people who won't support the Republican candidates that were selected by the majority, maybe they're not at the next convention. So yeah, I'm an old school Camden County politician, but we won in Camden County when we did it this way.
And Joe, we're looking forward to supporting the nominee of the party for governor in 2025.
Absolutely. Whoever that turns out to be, given the crop of Democrat candidates we're hearing, whoever our nominee happens to be, will be the better gubernatorial candidate. And I am hopeful that our party will heal quickly and get behind them.
There you go. We will end on that note. On that very positive, unifying note. Now, remember, everybody, this was on Facebook, was on LinkedIn. I'm going to put it right after this is over. I'm going to put it at dancerucci.com, where it will be seen there. It's also on my YouTube channel. Joe Condo, as always, this has been an enlightening and invigorating discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Anytime, you know where to find me. I'm always happy to talk with you.
Absolutely. You're right there, Joe. We're together with this.
I appreciate that.
Take care.
All
Bye.
right, Dan. Thank you. Bye bye.